but it may be like, I think what she's saying is like a podcast where we're investigating a murder or just something with that element of fear in it, like something kind of scary.
Like I could get into a show where it's like a horror show. You like horror films?
Okay.
Like I could get into that. Like I could do that kind of thing.
It's a beautiful day outside. We'll make sure to keep the shades drawn. It's Mark and Dracula in the morning.
All right, let's go to some listener mail. I've got some great stuff here from all over the U.S., which is awesome. And our first one is from Gavin in Port Wayne, Indiana. And Gavin writes in, "Hey Mark and Dracula.
Hello.
Love the show.
Thank you.
On show 232, Dracula said," that's you,
yeah.
"I do not drink wine."
I do not drink wine.
So could you, Gavin wants to know, could you unpack that a bit? Are you an AA? Do you just not like the taste? And as a man of your stature, I, Gavin, figured you to be a wine guy. He says, quote, "I guess I'm just a bit shocked," and that's from Gavin in Port Wayne, Indiana.
I do not drink wine. I drink blood.
Okay.
My only taste is not for the grape. It is for the vein. The vein with the blood. The cavernous carnova, the fourth ventricle of the heart is where the blood comes from. The blood is life.
So that's fair. So Gavin, that's a good answer for Gavin, I feel. So that's good. I hope that clears that up.
Yes.
Thank you for writing in, and thank you for listening. I love when the listeners write in and they listen and they have great questions about past shows.
Thank you, Gavin, from Port Wayne, Indiana.
All right. So next up, Dracula, we have a question from Susan. For the both of us. Oh no, I'm sorry, for you actually. Again, Dracula.
Okay.
Hey Mark and Dracula, loved the show, especially the What to Get Your Girl for Christmas episode. You had some great tips.
There were many great ideas for the Christmas gifts.
I actually ended up scrapping one of my gifts that I had picked out for my girl and going with one of yours, Dracula, which was it was very well received and I appreciated it a lot.
I felt the woman would really love a box. A tinder box made from Transylvanian redwood with the curse of your Christian God.
And, and it turned out you were right, and that's not something I ever would have thought to get my girlfriend, and I got it for her with your help in finding it, and she loved it. And I'm glad to see that our listeners got the same appreciation for that show. And so...
Did you get laid? Did you have the consummation?
So I ended up getting her a hotel room for the both of us in Beverly Hills.
Nice.
Which was great. And so things I could say went pretty well for us, Dracula.
I am glad that my ideas could help you find a true love. I have been searching for my true love for 800 years.
That's a long time.
Yes.
That's a really long time. So, yeah, again, thank you so much. And with tips like that, you should have no trouble. It's tough dating in Los Angeles.
I am on Tinder. Never swipe left on Dracula.
And so Susan writes in after hearing that. Again, Susan loved that show. And she said, so this question is for Dracula. The other day, I found your thoughts on the Ottoman Empire to be a bit jingoistic and frankly racist. You seem to be a bit bitter about their occupation of Moldavia in the mid-1400s. And Susan wants to know, Dracula, are you going to stand by your words? And that's again from Susan.
The Ottomans killed my family, my villagers. The blood they spewed upon the land was not a fertile blood. It brought forth no trees, no fruit. So I would impale them right through the what do you call the tripe? What is the thing you call
the abdomen?
Yes, the abdomen. Yes, and I would put right through the spear through them, and I would put them, and they would slowly ease down, and their blood would trickle into the fields, and I would take their head and remove the head and eat the eyeballs of the Ottomans. You, listener, may you find a death that is cruel, and may your breath smell the breath of an onion.
So Susan, look for death if you're taking Dracula's advice. I'm more neutral. Appreciate your writing in though, and good luck with the breath. Maybe may you find some Tic Tacs. That'll be Mark's advice on that, and no comment on the other part.
Thank you for your email.
And thanks for listening, Susan. And so this next one comes from Julie. And Julie's in Norfolk, Virginia. She says, "Hey, Mark and Dracula, really
Hello.
love the show."
Thank you.
Oh, that's very nice to say. Everyone says it, but it never gets old.
I appreciate the listeners.
This question is for Mark. Oh, this one's for me. I know you're upset about breaking up with the red-haired girl that worked at the Panera Bread in Denver.
You should have stayed with her. You made the biggest mistake of your life breaking up with this girl. She was a good woman.
So I think Julie and Dracula agree on something here.
I believe she was Greek Orthodox.
I will take your word for that. And Julie wants to know, have you been in touch with her over the last few months? Or have you just let the whole thing go? Thanks, Julie in Norfolk, Virginia. So Julie, I appreciate the concern. I think you and Dracula would have a lot to discuss on a coffee date about this because you've both been very vocal. At night, of course, you should go.
I do drink coffee.
So Dracula, big fan of coffee.
I do not drink wine.
So no wine. So if you want to go out with Dracula again, I don't want to get on too much of a tangent, but so Dracula, you don't like wine.
I do not drink.
And this comes up.
Wine.
People are concerned. Gavin was concerned. I guess people. It does strike me as a little odd. I mean, we can move on.
I do not drink Merlot. I do not drink Pinot Grigio. I have never had a sip of Zinfandel.
So that's Dracula's thoughts on wine. I should point out also, I apologize. I know Julie wrote in a PS. She said, Julie from Norfolk, Virginia also writes, and Dracula, you'll like this, PS, fuck the Ottoman Empire, Moldavia forever.